Rent. Welcome back to the Give Me Rent podcast, everybody. Today, me and Brandon are going to be blind ranking Nintendo games, specifically GameCube and Wii games, because this is the era of games we kind of grew up with. Those two consoles we kind of look at. They hold a special place in my heart for being really my childhood consoles.
Very high on the pedestal. As much as I grew up playing, shooter games, Pokemon, nothing really tops Mario.
Yeah, we had PlayStation, we had Xbox, but I always had Nintendo. I always had a Wii. Wii was my main system growing up. I think same for you.
Oh, 100%. It was different. It wasn't just something, you could play by yourself. It was it was that game when all your friends came over, even with your family or siblings. It was so different than
they
normal.
leaned in on the party game aspect too, like Mario Party, Mario Kart. It was just the best for having friends over, sibling rivalries, stuff like that. I remember I played Mario Party 8 maybe at least once a day with my siblings. It was just the greatest game ever.
It really dove into group interaction, I'd say, the most.
Exactly.
Most
Nintendo, even the DS stuff, we're not going to talk about that, but it always was always about group interaction, and group games and party games were just perfect for that. I mean, it's a perfect
timeless classics, if you will, just because Nintendo also
but it's just a perfect idea for video games, just like board game style games.
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Nintendo also doesn't really depreciate in value either. You've seen them gone up.
They
over
make
the years.
games to last. Yeah, to stand the test of time. They're making games to last. That's also why their games don't really see huge price decreases, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Switch doesn't. You don't see that type of stuff. But without further ado, let's get into this. Let's talk about the 2000s era of Nintendo, the golden age, as I would call it. Because honestly, I think today it feels like they're kind of soulless. You know what I mean?
First one, Mario Galaxy.
And we started off with the game that has the most soul.
I think I'm going to put that at 3.
Listen,
3 or 2. It's tough. You get, Mario Kart, any of the Mario parties, Smash.
There's people who would have preference over the types of, Mario games that they like. But for me, 3D was king. And I just talked about my love for Mario Party, but Mario Galaxy,
I have it at 3 or 2.
It's in my top 3 games of the Wii just in general. Yeah. I have to place it at 2.
I feel like 3. I feel like we're gonna end up.
I'm going just for you wanting it to be in 3. I'm gonna put it in 3. But for viewers' sake, and listeners' sake, it's number 2 or 1 for me because it's a perfect game.
Yeah, I agree.
And its follow up, I hope we get it as well. But the second one is just as good.
All right, so
if not better.
At 3, we have Mario Galaxy.
I like it. We're off to an interesting start.
Yeah, for sure. And now we have. Wow, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Okay.
Not better than Mario Galaxy.
So this goes into my party games thing. This is a great group game.
Even the second one was pretty solid.
No, even the first 3, they're solid. They're solid games. The winter stuff, that's what I'm including.
Yeah.
You can say they're different, but I'm counting that. I think I'm going to place at 5, but that just shows how good the Wii and GameCube era was.
Incredible run.
It's an incredible run of
I don't think Nintendo can even redo that. Even with the Switch. As much as I love the Switch, I'm going to get the next one. I've played a lot of games on it. I've spent a lot of time.
But it does feel soulless, right?
It doesn't.
This had more to it.
I wouldn't say it feels soulless. Listen, the games that are thriving more than others, I wouldn't say it's even Mario. I'd say definitely it's Smash. Mario Kart's fun, but it's Smash, the Pokemon
I'm very
games.
excited for the next Mario Kart.
I am too.
I don't even play the Switch. I don't ever even own the Switch.
Smash is amazing, but Pokemon games were pretty solid. I really enjoyed them on the Switch. Definitely, they had their issues, their downs, but it's nothing's going to be like the Wii and GameCube.
Well, it's interesting, too. DS, they released one of these on the Switch, right? The Mario and Sonic.
Yeah, believe so.
Not as good.
It's not.
I think I played it once at a friend's house or something.
They redid Wii Sports also. And,
Nintendo Switch Sports, it just doesn't have the same charm that it did. Obviously, it's different. The motion control is just completely different, but it doesn't have that same level of.
I think it's because it's been done.
It's not even just that though. It's just the presentation is different. It doesn't. That's where I'm saying soulless, where just the presentation of it isn't as colorful maybe and as vibrant.
See, I don't own the new one, but from what I've heard, it's the reality. It's you get an old game, you update it with graphics. People are gonna not like it as much just because of, and I hate to say it because I do love nostalgia, but of that nostalgic feel. It's definitely probably a great game, but I think it's because also just
nostalgia definitely blinds, and it's definitely there. I'm not saying the current state of Nintendo is negative. It just doesn't feel as vibrant as it once did.
I agree with you.
That's all. It's just, as we continue through this list, we're going to see great games that are going to remind you of that time.
Yeah.
Where, it was just banger after banger for them. I'm not saying they're not doing that. It just has a different feel.
Especially when they went to Wii U. As much as people didn't like the Wii U, there were some great games.
There's a great run of games on that system.
But further ado, 5 Olympic Games.
Place it at 5.
And then, 3.
No, yeah.
I agree with you because there's a lot of
I feel
other
good
games.
doing it because I think we're going to get some.
And 3,
some
Mario
stuff.
Galaxy.
Okay.
Mario's got a lot of bangers. That's how I'm looking.
Yeah, I don't think there is any bad game for him on the Wii or GameCube.
Wii Sports 1.
Wii Sports
1 or
is
2.
tough because if you actually ask me to put that above Galaxy, I'm going to say it doesn't belong above Galaxy. But that's also because
it's to me, actually take it back.
Yeah.
Galaxy was objectively the better
No, but
game.
if we're going to put Galaxy at 3, I got to put Sports at 4.
No, I was going to say if we're talking about that.
But also, it's like there's so much, I've played that probably the most out of any Wii game. I think most people would agree with that, too. They've probably played Wii Sports the most.
I was saying, too, just because of longevity, not my personal opinion.
Just because of that, that party game value that it has where, that...
People still play it now.
I still play it with friends. It still gets
played now.
I think a lot of our viewers are going to agree, too. They still play Wii Sports probably out of most Wii games. If they still have a Wii, that's the game they're going to play every so often.
You have to be a big Nintendo fan to still be ripping.
Yeah, I started with 4, but we got to place it at 2 just because of its status.
I agree with
it's such an iconic
personal.
game.
Definitely, I'd put it at 4, but with the reputation it had and the impact and how it still gets played now,
this might screw up the list putting it at 2, but it belongs there.
We'll see.
Listen,
it deserves it.
I do like Mario Galaxy more, but they're probably tied for enjoyability that I've had with them. What do we got?
Mario Strikers. I have no issue putting that at 4. It's not better than Galaxy. It's a great game on the GameCube. It's my
so Strikers, if we get this one, this is talking about the GameCube Strikers.
Yeah,
it's not supercharged.
We're not talking
the second one was
the one
called.
that's right here.
Okay.
The one that's right in front
Mario
of us. That is actually the most played game I have on my GameCube. And I
love it, and I actually just repurchased the game just so I could play it again on my GameCube.
I'm confident putting it at 4.
Yeah,
it's not better
I'm
than
with
Wii
you.
Sports. It's not better than Galaxy.
It's still just showing how strong this list is because this is a banger of a game.
I'm hoping 1 is going to be one of the best Mario Party games.
Well, if we get a Smash game in there,
it's understandable.
That Melee or something then it's an easy number 1, and we skilled this list. But
right now,
you're right. Strikers has to go at 4.
You have to understand.
Because if this was swapped and we put Wii Sports at 4 and that was at 2, I'd feel wrong about it. I feel more right about this.
Mario Party 5 at 1.
Mario Party 5 at number 1. Not good.
See, the rest of the list, to me, is fine.
Well, a lot of people would probably think this Mario Party is the worst of the Wii GameCube era.
100%.
Not 100% for me. I love Mario Party 5. I think it's great. And honestly, it's tough for people to rank because, again, it's preference based off mini games. It's preference based off just how the games play.
Sometimes memories come into play.
Yeah, and memories come into play, too.
Some people probably, at a young age when you have a Wii, Super Mario Galaxy might have been too complex for some people, so they hated the game. Because I've seen some of my friends even say that they're like, nah, I didn't like that game. I couldn't figure it out.
It's kind of wild, though. Out of all the Mario Party releases, Mario Party 8, Mario Party, any GameCube, I think it's 4 through 7. 5 is the most recent one both of us have played. We played it together.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I hadn't played it in a minute, and it's...
Walked out with a big W.
Yeah, and I got crushed by this kid. It was a good game. I think that it's crazy with these games, too, we were talking about before, the longevity of them and how they're made to last. Yeah, graphics-wise, there's obviously Mario Parties that beat the old ones, but...
Oh, yeah.
The era of just the run from even before, the Nintendo 64 to Wii era of just party games, Mario Party specifically, just insane. Actually, just so much replay value in most of Mario games have a great replay value. But when you're looking at games that are great to play with friends, Mario Party might take the cake. And I was reminded of that when we were playing. Mario Kart, I'm honestly a little upset we didn't get one for this list.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I'd probably feel better, honestly, with one of those taking the top spot. But since this did get number 1, it's making me think. I love Mario Party. It's just so much fun.
I was really hoping and banking on, Super Sluggers or one of the Smash games or Kart
I do love
at
some
1.
Super Sluggers.
Because it would have been understandable to have that one. I have nothing against Mario Party 5. I just recognize and understand.
It's just not number one. Like, it wouldn't be number one.
The one thing I want to say earlier about how we said, like, some of these games feel not as soulful as, like, the Wii and GameCube, but I don't know off the top of my head, but the retail price for the Wii definitely was cheaper than a Switch. And
obviously, it was 2006.
well, my point is...
even adjusted.
Well, my point is even if you were to adjust it to back then, like, the Switch would still be expensive, meaning not as many people would have it. So games like this are going to feel timeless because also the amount of people that had these games. Well, and the amount of households... Like, you can go to any of your friends' houses, and their family 100%... Most of the time, 80% had the Wii, and you're playing the same game. Everyone was playing the same games. And, excuse me, there were some games there weren't a lot of copies of.
Yeah, like specifically GameCube wasn't as 100%. Popular as a system as Wii.
Exactly, and PlayStation was going around then too. Don't forget, like
they were
GameCube had some big competitors, but those games really they hold their value. They really do, regardless of how many systems were in each house. The Wii, those games are going to be more common. The price isn't going to be as heavy lifted, but GameCube. No,
I genuinely pray.
Look at Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, not even a great game.
But it's still game. It's fun. People enjoy it.
It's a really bad game, but it's bad. It's $90.
$90. Like, I genuinely think that these are the types of the Wii, GameCube consoles and games are the types of games that are. Yeah, we say they're built to last, but because of how much quality was packed into these consoles and the games, they're going to be passed on. It's how I was introduced to the GameCube is from my siblings, my family members, stuff like that. There were people that were a little older than me, but it brought me into that Wii era, and I'm going to pass it on. Yeah. I'm excited to show the younger generation this stuff. I honestly really hope to eventually maybe show even potentially if I had kids, the Wii and GameCube. I hope my Wii's still working.
I still have my GameCube.
I pray.
I take good care of it. Actually, my cousins gave it to me, and we grew up
playing. still have a day one Wii. I
do too.
My family purchased it day one, whenever it came out in 2006, I believe. Still have the Wii Sports Bundle, day one Wii, with the GameCube adapters.
The thing I want to say, though, about the soul, what I want to wrap up my idea on is, the reason why I feel like the Wii did have more soul than the Switch is because the amount of people that also, the amount of families that had it. Well,
think about
the Switch is very we understand the Switch is literally a mix of the DS and the Wii and the PSP.
Well, also the Wii U too. The Wii U is what I thought.
It's a mixture. It's a mixture of a lot of their consoles to be mobile and play these effective games on the run.
Yeah.
And the issue is it's expensive, so not a lot of people are gonna have it. Like, not a lot of my friends have the Switch. A lot of people are selling their consoles to get PCs and then the Switch.
It also doesn't have the power of.
And some of the games just don't play amazing either.
Yeah,
like, I'll be honest,
You can't play games that are on other
Legends Arceus glitched a little bit. Scarlet and Violet had some bug issues. I love the games, but it's just.
You can only play Nintendo-produced games, if you really expect
There's certain games you could really...
You can't rely on anything else.
And this new one coming out, I want some backwards compatibility. It definitely is going to have it, but it's just another thing. It's going to sell a lot, but I don't think it's going to sell a lot in our area. I don't know a lot of people that have the Switch personally.
Yeah.
I know probably on both my hands I can count, maybe a little less. The Wii, if you could tell me how many of my friends from grade school, middle school, high school, or even college that have a Wii, I could give you a list of people.
Yeah.
And it's because
people wanted to hold on to these things.
Affordability of how many copies they're selling of games. Bro, everyone was playing the Wii. That's also why I feel like those games do feel like they have soul. It's because of the memories and the quality. You're able to look how many games they pumped out and how many they were selling.
An insane run of games.
Do you know how many people had a Wii in their house probably by then too? It was one that actually I was looking.
GameCube wasn't a super popular selling system, wasn't. But by the time the Wii came around, and that's also why they made it backwards compatible for it because it gave it a longer life, and it's why it's looked at so fondly. It's just because the run was just so impeccable.
Yeah,
it was special. It was a special time. And it probably feels like it's soulless because, we're locked onto nostalgia of that type of stuff.
Yeah. I also just think that there's not many, Switch sold a lot. It broke a record, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just not as prevalent in households that I know of as, like, a Wii. I know everyone that still has their Wii. Yeah. And people will still be drunk playing, Wii Sports, Mario Party. Like, I partake in that. I played it on the Switch with my friends, but we all agree, like, it's just not the same. I just think it's... When everyone had a Wii in their house, everyone was playing the Wii. Not everyone has a Switch in their house. A lot of people have the Xbox and stuff. You see people going...
The Switch is still a good part of
the
system,
It's still...
I just want to point that out.
I love the Switch. But it's the same thing I'm going to say with Call of Duty, just real quick, because Call of Duty was also on the Wii and stuff. But why do you think people are so happy Xbox has backwards...
meant for that.
Why do you think people... Well, yeah, but why do you think people are so happy the Xbox has backwards compatibility? A lot of people don't like the new Call of Duties. They go back to it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
No, it's a fair point. Yeah.
It's the quality of the game.
Yeah, talking about this stuff is very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see the response to the Switch too. But for GMR Podcast, this has been a very interesting ranking. Till next time, everybody.